Laura Gifford lives with her children and dogs north of Boston and operates her own business. In the fall of 2016, her youngest daughter, Sarah, was diagnosed with depression and anxiety and started her journey with DMH. Laura grew up on the South Shore, graduated from college with honors. After traveling a good haul around the globe, she married and moved to the North Shore. Finding ample parking in a nice town made it easy for her and her family to settle in quickly. She continues to enjoy a life of learning, travel, family, and the arts. Laura is also still successfully managing her lifelong battle with depression. Her biggest achievement would be to show her beloved children that she can live a whole, beautiful, complicated life with whatever hand you are dealt. Just keep showing up and trying. Welcome, Laura.
Good morning. Thank you for letting me share my story today. And I'm going to try to get this out with some clarity in about 5 minutes. As an Irish yacker with ADD, that could be a task. Depression runs in my family, and it does not discriminate on age, gender, or zip code. It has silently made its presence known. It has led several family members to self-medicating, self-harming, alcoholism, loss of work, income, and having difficulty with relationships. Partially because of this, I found comfort in being a taskmaster and a fixer. Growing up, we looked up to my cousin Jimmy, who was older, smarter, and much loved. He was strong and agile, so getting an athletic scholarship was no surprise. What was a surprise is that Jimmy would hang himself before ever getting to college. This tragedy deeply affected numerous people for the rest of their lives and had a tremendous impact on me. It was probably 35 years ago, but I still think about it sometimes. Life would have a few bumps in the years to follow, but I survived and became stronger. Still, nothing could have prepared me for the day a uniformed officer came to my office to tell me my best friend, my anchor, my brother, was found dead in a marsh after taking his own life. I looked up to him since the day I was born. David was an artist, writer, friend, and the funniest person I ever met. So when I started seeing signs that my daughter was withdrawing, limiting food, and such, we went to different therapists until she found one she liked. She was put on meds for depression, and as the fixer and the taskmaster, I felt like we can do this. There's no shame in this. There are only solutions. She's got this. 5:50 on October 4th, 4 days after my divorce, my smart, loved, artsy 14-year-old daughter took a massive overdose of prescription pills. And even as I looked at her and I listened, I could not believe what she was saying. This could not be true. She showed no signs of deep depression or despair. In the 15 minutes it took to get to the ER, panic started to set in. That was the beginning of the realization that nothing in life could ever prepare you for this. No pain, no panic, no level of desperation could ever help you understand the fear of losing a child, to have failed her so deeply that this was her solution. I was broken and I could not leave her bedside for days. I would not sleep in fear she would need something and the hospital would miss it. 3 months at Boston Children's Hospital offered some relief in knowing she was monitored 24/7. But it was not treatment. Her father wanted her home and we could not agree on any form of care. We also just did not know how to navigate this storm. I could not comprehend how any therapy could catch her up on the needed skills and the mindset she would require to be home again. And I was terrified of having her home and failing her again. How could I keep her alive next time? And who would find her body? What would that do to them for the rest of their life? 3 months at Children's is a long stay. She was coming apart. She had been holding in such pain for so long and just could not pretend any longer. In addition, there were no beds available in the limited programs that offer the specific therapy she needed. And although we have great insurance, it would not cover the residential stay. At this point, the hospital requested that DMH screen my daughter to see if a locked setting was required to keep her safe. And she screened in. We were told she would be admitted to the NFI IRTP at Worcester Recovery Center and Hospital. Now, the new fear was that they would not be adequately staffed or trained, and the co-ed living would prove to be her next threat. And there were fears that other kids would teach her more things that would bring her down even further, but I did not have the funds or the resources, so I reluctantly went. Then the silver lining, Department of Mental Health. They knew the exact type of therapy my daughter needed, and they had the resources to cover it. From the second we got there, we were greeted by a parent partner and then to meet the directors. I left that day with hope. This placement would prove to be better than we could have imagined. The program offered a safe place to get treatment, top-notch care specific to the issues that my daughter was having and that we as parents could not address. They offered non-judgmental environment, therapy, kindness, patience, and hope. And it was within these walls that they would finally get through to my bright, stubborn, talented Sharon. Here they guided Sarah to a better emotional place. They gave her the learning tools while holding my hand and showing me how to walk alongside her until I could let go. When the time came for discharge, I was nervous, but Jen McMurray, our DMH superhero, was able to provide me with support and options. Jen, our DMH case manager, offered step-down programs and services in order to help my daughter and family safely transition her home. First, Sarah transitioned to diversion group home. Here she would get individual, group, and family therapy in an unlocked setting. She did well here. She quickly began home passes. Jen then put in intensive in-home services in place to assist my family, with her transition home, including providing 24-hour on-call services, family therapy, and safety planning. She graduated from this program, and our case manager offered a less intensive in-home service to continue family work for a short period of time. My daughter was also offered a therapeutic mentor, which proved to be a great support for her. I cannot tell you how valuable Jen has been to my family. I can just say that we're not giving her back. For well over a year, my daughter has been back in school, has a job, is getting her license, and headed to Galapagos on a volunteer mission to help others. Sarah has hit some more bumps, but now with the tools to navigate and the confidence to go forward. My gratitude to DMH is eternal. I believe that if more adolescents were reached and adequate placement was available, we would not be seeing so many suicides later in life. The loss of one life impacts so many. Thank you.